The 0.08 is like just to stay above protein deficiency. And so it's not like, and that's not for all people, like elderly people are supposed to have more. So, and they're more at risk. And so having like this recommendation that's only really good for strong, healthy adults who aren't at risk for who are just like not trying to be protein deficient isn't necessarily a good recommendation as far as like all the parameters go. And we're going to go into this more, and it's actually really hard to figure out the sources for this 0.08 requirement, and that's pretty concerning. Like it shouldn't be this hard.
Enough protein. Protein deficiency is not something the vast majority of us have to worry about, particularly under the age of about 65, with 85% of Americans currently consuming over the recommended daily amount of 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. Remember...
Okay, so that is just not a correct statement. The recommended amount is not a specific number. The recommended amount is a range. And I could show you this right now. All right, by body weight. That's the minimum. Where's the range? Most adults need between UCLA Health between 0.8 and 1.6. It's a range. It's a range. USDA. Older adults need more. Let's see what this says. Do not consume even the recommended amount. Okay, so again, all this push for protein maybe is just, helping our older people. USDA, like literally from their website. Health professionals, UC Davis. Protein. Sarcopenia, This renal function is really in only people with kidney problems, but I don't know. I haven't checked this data. That was just from a kidney nurse from my last conference. Protein for athletes, protein for, it's just like 0.08. Like what is, I'm sorry, is UC Davis supposed to be like, are they not understanding what nutrition is, Department of Nutrition? Or is this guy, like why is this from the food industry, from the protein industry? Come on, what's going on here? Like this is absolutely insane. This is why people are trying to figure out, like so frustrated with nutrition and stuff. What are we going to figure out? Look at all these references. They got references. Where are your references, doc? Like, man, Jesus. I haven't seen anything that just, like, nothing. It's not, 0.08 is not a hard stop. It's a range, complete range to meet the basic nutritional requirements. Ugh. Pregnancy, lactation, injury, sickness, and activity level. RDA is way increased. So sure these are minimums. I mean, I've already seen the Google Scholar stuff, but okay, yeah, come on. Let's go Google Scholar then. Protein. Not even going to check them first. Let's just open up these first ones. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. We already know the elderly is going to be different. Boom. Okay, so you can already see this required daily intake already here as another range. So let's go to this first one. Check out the abstract. 0.5 grams per, it's not suppressing chronic renal failure. Restriction protein intake is effective in slowing progressive loss of renal function. Recent renal control studies. Various amounts of proteins were compared in chronic renal failure patients due to chronic. So this is just with people with chronic renal failure. Now we're going to skip this one because we already know kidney people are special population. 4 grams, holy shit. Post intakes are needed. Thus, determine the effects of high protein diets. Jesus, yeah. consume more protein. No significant changes over time. Wow, holy shit. And that goes with my, sorry, I don't mean to cut so much, but this also is like totally with my like it shows you calories don't really work. That's insane. Hell yeah. Cool. Crazy. That's like, holy shit. What a, wow. How do I download? Wait. Here we go. Wow. Wild. How cool. Oh, so there's a study there about that. Actually, let's accept all cookies. The European something. It's recommended 1.3 to 1.5. Okay, so this is from 2012. European Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism. Let's see what they recommend. Guidelines. Look how easy this is. Scientific guidelines. Nutrition. Oh, I need this one. Let's just get that down. This is for myself. That's just, personal research. All right. Micronutrient guideline. This is also getting bookmarked. I guess clinical nutrition is really focusing on these different kind of medical conditions. Let's go to mine. Let's check this one out. Dietary fat. So long chain omega-3s, lower risk. That makes sense from what I eat. Looking for protein. Spot. Protein requirements 1.2 to 1.5. A lot of people have, how many people have IBS in the world? IBS in Western countries. 10 to 20% of all adults, 10 to 20% should have above 0.08. So, anyways, let's see. Ignores the use of protein in energy metabolism. High protein diets, on the other hand, advocate excessive low protein intake. 200 to 400 grams a day. See, I advocate for 120 grams a day. Liver's capacity. What year? 2006. Different for athletes. No studies have evaluated the upper limit back in 2006. There's not really an upper limit. We're going to get into Tanner Stokes. Optimal intake in the elderly, 1.5. Potential risk. The required daily intake, implying sustaining the original absolute protein intake, carbohydrate intake. Intake of 1.2, see, because it's a range. It's beneficial body composition, improves blood pressure. Too low absolute protein content of the diet contributes to risk to body weight regain. The success of so-called low-carb diet is usually high in protein and can be attributed to the relatively high protein content per se and not to the relatively lower carbohydrate content. Metabolic syndrome parameters restored mainly due to body weight loss. In the indicated dosage, no kidney problems have been shown in healthy individuals. In conclusion, dietary protein contributes to the treatment of obesity and metabolic syndrome by acting on the relevant metabolic targets of satiety, energy expenditure, and a negative energy balance, thereby preventing the weight cyclic effect. 2012, British Journal of Nutrition. So, this idea that this needs to be a requirement for protein is ridiculous. Oh, where am I?